Hey guys, what is up? Sloppy here, and welcome to episode 2 of our Redstone adventure. Today we are learning all about power sources, how to get the redstone powered. So let's dive right in. The first and the most obvious, probably the easiest to use, redstone torch. It's always powered on until you remove it, although you can power a redstone torch. So you can sort of turn it on and off, but for now all you need to know is if you put it down, it turns on the redstone around it in any direction except diagonal. Boom, one power source down. Alright, the next one, similar to the redstone torch, always on, is the redstone block. Redstone block is 9 pieces of redstone, takes up the whole crafting table, makes a redstone block. Looks like this. Kind of cool for decorating. It's also always on until you remove it. Very cool. Okay, the next one is the lever. The lever is a piece of cobblestone with a stick on top of it. Levers are cool because you flip them on, off, and so they have like a various position for powered or unpowered, so it makes it handy for doors and whatnot. And you can put them so the redstone's behind it. It'll power through the block. Very cool indeed. That is a lever. Alright, and now we move on to buttons. And buttons will send out basically a pulse when you push them. They light up for a brief amount of time and then turn off. So they're handy for doors and just things that kind of need a timer, I guess. So the wooden button takes a little bit longer than the stone button. This has a 1.5 second time that it's on for. 1.5 seconds, and it can also be activated by an arrow. So you can stand back here, shoot an arrow, and if it hits it, it'll turn on. The stone button has a 1 second delay, so it's a little bit shorter. You can see the difference. It's a little bit shorter and cannot be activated by an arrow. So that is buttons. Very cool. 2 types. Both of them are just a single piece of wood or in a crafting thing, or a single piece of stone in a crafting table or in your crafting inventory. Alright guys, so now we have pressure plates. Pressure plates, very simple. They all have a 1 second pulse. These two have a 1 second pulse, I should say. And they'll stay on as long as you're on top of them. This one can be activated by anything, including dropped items. This one can only be activated by a player or a monster, so not dropped items. Just too bad. But if you stay on them, they light up. They have a 1 second pulse. These two you can stand on, which is cool. And the signal strength, you can see it only reaches 1, is increased by how much stuff is on top of it. So if you throw a whole stack, it'll be at least 15 long. So these, yeah, they increase with how much stuff you throw on top of them, which is kind of neat. Each one of them is produced by, in a crafting bench, you put 2 items next to each other, a piece of wood, 2 stone, 2 iron, 2 gold, and that's how you make a pressure plate. This will be at the end. We will show the recipes for stuff. Now on to our next power source. So next up, we actually have a really cool power source called a tripwire hook. Tripwire hooks have to be across from each other, and then you put string between them to hook them up. You can see they're set now, and when they're activated, you walk through them, or a monster walks through them. You can see it gets lit up for when you're in there. So it's cool to use for traps or something. You can see when you're in the middle of them too, they light up. So when you activate them, when you're over the top of the string, it activates the redstone. So these are very cool for traps. You know, if a zombie walks into your base, boom, they fall down a hole that opens up right here, or whatever you want to do with them. So these ones are actually very cool. Or maybe the lights turn on when you walk through them. Something like that. These are an awesome power source, very fun to play with. Alright, the next one is a little bit hard to show. This is a trap chest. It's made by using a tripwire hook and a chest. All the recipes will be at the end again. So this is kind of hard to show. It does produce a pulse when you open it, but you're in the chest menu, so you can't really see it right now. I'm going to try and close it really fast, and you should be able to see that it's lit up for just a second. You can see it was lit up. There was particle effects. So it's a very cool trap chest, also useful for traps and whatnot, or I mean, there's a lot of applications that we'll get into with it, but that is also a power source, the trapped chest. Alright guys, this one is the daylight sensor. Daylight sensors are very cool. It tells you when it's day out. So when it's night, this will be unlit. When it's day, it lights the redstone. It produces a signal. It's very cool if you're living in a cave, you know, you can tell when to go to bed and whatnot. These are very handy. The recipe again will be at the end of the video. Alright, the last power source we have is the detector rail. So you can put these on a railway, and when a cart goes over it, it lights up. So it's kind of cool for automated cart systems and whatnot. So when a cart goes over it, it sends a redstone pulse. So it's very cool for detecting where carts are and whatnot. It's useful. We will get into some various uses for it later on in the Redstone Adventures. This was just showcasing the power sources, and now I will show all of the recipes. Alright, so here are all of the recipes. First one, redstone block is that. Redstone torch. Lever. Wood button. Stone button. Wood. Pressure plate, stone pressure plate, iron pressure plate, gold pressure plate. Get out of here, man. They're always trying to be in my videos. Here is the tripwire hook, block, stick. Here is the sensor, stone pressure plate, iron, redstone. Get out of here, man. Alright, here's the daylight sensor. These are oak wood slabs, so slabs on the bottom, nether quartz, glass, pretty cheap. And the trap chest is a normal chest with a tripwire hook. Also notice you can put them next to normal chests and they won't connect. So if you have a bunch of chests that you want to put next to each other, chest, trip chest, chest, chip chest, they won't connect. And I am dropping frames like a crazy person because of these slimes. So that is everything that I showed you, all the recipes. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll answer them to the best of my abilities. And I'll catch you guys on my next Redstone adventure. Ciao!